So my guess is you're watching this video because you either have a Typhoon H or you're about to buy a Typhoon H. Well anyways, I've had this here Typhoon H for over a year and I've flown it in the winter, the summer, the rain, everything. I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Stay tuned. The first thing everybody says about the Typhoon H when they first see it is, wow, that's a stunning piece of kit. That is one awesome looking drone. There's nothing else like it on the market. And that's true. You know, you look at the DJI products, they're very sleek, but they're very simple in design and they don't have a lot of moving parts. The Typhoon H has a ton of moving parts. So how do those moving parts hold up? Well, check this out. Here we have my 1-year-old Typhoon H. The Typhoon H is an amazing piece of technology. The engineers who designed it did a great job. Unlike other hobby drones on the market, the Typhoon H has an awful lot of moving parts, and those moving parts could wear out or fail. But this Typhoon H is a year old, and it's done extremely well. Let's take a close look at it. One of the worries when the Typhoon H first came on the market were the braided lines. And just by simple movement, there was some worry that these would fail and wear out over time. But have a look. These braided lines are in awesome condition. Another worry were these gold metal locking clamps that are in each arm. These are designed to fail if the arm hits any impact and release the arm. Over time, people thought that these would break, but mine's 1 year old and these are still in great condition. The Typhoon H has 6 brushless motors and it's designed that if one motor should give out, the Typhoon H will continue to fly on 5 motors. However, most people know that today's technology, brushless motors rarely, if ever, fail. What usually fails is something goes wrong with the prop. It either flies off because it wasn't put on securely or it gets damaged. But the Typhoon H will continue to fly with even one motor out. These brushless motors have worked well in winter conditions, hot summer, rainy conditions, no problems whatsoever. The propellers for the Typhoon H are a great design. I've had these propellers for over a year. I've been using the same ones. They've flown in super cold weather, super hot weather, and even wet weather, and there's been no damage, no nicks to the props whatsoever. When the Typhoon H was first released, people thought the plastic, due to stress, would get cracks in it, but as you can see, my 1-year-old Typhoon H has no cracks. Everything still functions, looks pretty good. And if we take a look at the other side, no cracks on the underside. Everything looks good. This is one of the few hobby drones on the market with a landing gear that is retractable. A lot of people thought that the gear would fail over the years, but this gear on mine has not failed, and as many of you know who have watched my videos for the last year, I hand catch all my drones, so my hand is always wrapped around this gear, holding it in the air, and so far it has not failed on me, so props to Yuneec for making a really good product. Another very well designed part of the Typhoon H is the camera gimbal. This here gimbal is designed to allow for vibrations to go up and down. It allows the Typhoon H to move side to side and keep the horizon level. It also allows the user to move the camera down, up, or even 360, which there's not too many hobby drones that allow for that. So a year of using this, and this camera gimbal has worked flawlessly, no problems whatsoever. The camera on the Typhoon H is removable. I've only taken mine off maybe 5 times over the past year. It's great. No problems. Camera slides back in. I'm sure if I took it off many more times, I may wear certain components down, but for the most part, I think it would still function. Great feature on the Typhoon H is that Yuneec made use of carbon fiber, which is extremely durable and strong, and it's lasted over a year. No stress cracks, nothing. The battery bay gets a lot of use with sliding the battery in and out. And so far, no cracks around the outside and no damage on the inside. Everything looks good. So this brings me to the next item to review on my 1-year-old Typhoon H, and that's the ST16. This year I've had this for a year. It's the original with 2 antennas, and the third antenna is on the inside. The new ones have the third antenna on the outside. It still functions great, no issues. All the buttons work. Everything works there. The rubber on the back is nice. The battery still holds tons of power. There's only one issue I have with this after 1 year. And I'll turn it on and you'll know exactly what it is. Listen to this. All right, it's on. Now, it's those two fans in the back. Every now and then, especially in the winter time, they're kind of noisy. So here, I'm going to put it closer to the mic. See when I move it? They make a sound. Well, in the winter time, that will turn into a squeal. The original ST16s had a problem with the fans. All the new ones have been fixed, so mine is the original one. And other than that, it's a super minor problem. That's the only issue I have with it. So yes, my Typhoon H, after a year, all the moving parts still function perfectly. So it's just like it's brand new almost. It works just as well as day one. Now there is one Achilles heel with the Typhoon H that I'm going to mention, at least from my point of view, and that is the battery. Why is it an Achilles heel? Because when Yuneec made these batteries, they didn't make them smart batteries. These batteries do not self-discharge. Now, if you look at something like DJI, all their products with their batteries, those batteries you can set them so that you can say discharge in 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, or 10 days. And that's a great thing. If you can't discharge a battery, well, the battery may not last as long. You might get that low battery warning when you're flying. Something could go a little bit astray. Your whole drone functions by getting power, so if it's not getting a lot of power, it becomes a problem. Now, I've had these batteries for a year, and they're pretty good because I fly an awful lot. So if you fly a lot, that's great. But if you don't fly a lot, if you're like some people, you know, you charge up 3 batteries, so you go out and you only fly 1 battery or 2 batteries, well then you have another battery sitting around that's fully charged, and it might sit around for a few weeks to a month. Well, that battery is going to become less efficient in the future, and it's not going to hold as much a charge. So Typhoon H, great product. Not smart batteries, not a great product. Now, of course, when you first get your Typhoon H, your batteries are going to be perfect, and you're going to fly maybe about 18 minutes of flight time. Same right now. If I bought a brand new battery, I should get about 18 minutes of flight time. Well, these batteries are a year old, and I don't get 18 minutes anymore. But I don't get 10 minutes or 9 minutes or 7 minutes. I probably average about 12 minutes. Actually, I'm going to do a flight right now. I'm going to use this battery, which is 1 year old, and I'll see how many minutes of flight time I get. All right, I've changed the microphone on the camera because my lapel mic is going to rub on my jacket and it's going to make all sorts of sounds. So I'm about ready to go. So I'm going to start the motors. The battery's in. I'm going to start the motors, and I have a little stopwatch here. There we go. So here we go. Start the motors. They're running. Move my hand sideways. I'm going to hit start. There we go. So the stopwatch is going. We'll see how long this battery that is a year old, how long it lasts. I'm just going to fly it around this area a few times. Right now it's 16.4 volts. I don't know if you can see that on there. Probably not the best view. But here we go. Take off. Important. Make sure my switches are in the right position. All right. In angle mode. Here we go. Take off. So the Typhoon H is above me. I'll bring it down. I've been flying this so long, I trust this baby. There we go. Hey Typhoon H, how you doing? So I'll put the landing gear up. Goes up, and I'm going to take it out to the field in the back. One thing I saw in the weather forecast this morning is that the wind gusts today are between 25 kilometers per hour and 40 kilometers per hour. So this is probably not a fair test for the Typhoon H because it's got to fight the winds. That means more battery power to try to stay stable. And if I put my finger here, where is it? There it is. How stable is it staying in the air with this wind? You see, it's doing a pretty good job. It's pretty stable. So now my power is down to 14.8 volts. I've been flying at full speed through the farmers' fields back and forth, and it's getting a little low on power. Let's see if it goes back up. So at 14.8, that's half. If you look at the 4 bars on your display, that's at the halfway point. So that's about the point where if you're out someplace, you'd probably want to bring it back. Now it's pretty boring flying the Typhoon H around, so what I'm going to do is have some fun with it. I've only got less than half battery power left, but when I got it, it's sitting over here, and I'll just go behind it. You can see it. I'm walking, carrying a tripod. See, if I walk in front of the Typhoon H, there you go, you'll see it. Alright, so here we are. Typhoon H is there. What I'm going to try is just some fun. So as you can see, this thing is freaking stable. There's the Typhoon H, and there's a goalpost. This thing is so stable that yes, I trust it to fly under the goalpost. Don't have any safeties on, nothing. Here we go. Yay! 2 points! Or however many points you get for gold. So as you can see, I've had the Typhoon H for a year. I've been flying it with so many other drones. I'm extremely comfortable with it. You can do all sorts of amazing things with this drone. So it's been flying for, let me see, check my watch. I don't know if you can see that because the sun's shining. It's 10 minutes and 40 seconds, almost 11 minutes. And I'm at 14.5 volts. What else can I do with it? Well, one way to wear out the battery really fast is to go full power straight up. Okay, we're gonna go straight up. Now that usually kills the power, and there we go. Warning, low battery. Got the, there we go. Warning, low battery. Got the first one. Okay, I'm trying to tire it out to get the second low voltage warning. Voltage is at 14.4 volts. There we go, finally I got the second low voltage warning. I'm at, third low voltage warning. I better bring it down. I was kind of abusive with the flight, going all sorts of weird angles. It's very windy, doing all sorts of things. You normally wouldn't do that, especially with a year-old battery, flying strong winds and whatnot. So that was pretty good. So I got 14.5 minutes. So that's a year-old battery, using it, being pretty rough on it, flying at full speed, doing silly things, and that's pretty good. So I'm happy with that. As you can see, after 1 year, the Typhoon H, still a great piece of kit. Now, I have not been 1 year free of issue, in case people out there are wondering and saying, hey, my Typhoon H has had a few issues. Well, you know, when I first got this Typhoon H, I had it for maybe 2 days back in May of 2016. And I had a battery problem and it crashed and broke into a few pieces. And then sometime in the summertime of 2016, I had some camera problems. And then in a little bit later of 2016, in the fall, I actually had an attempted flyaway. This guy tried to fly away on me, but I kept it in control and got it back and landed it safely. So all those issues have been fixed. You know, it was a new drone, new technology by Yuneec. Now Yuneec has repaired all those issues. The firmware is great. There's tons of new features. It's a really refined drone now in 2017 compared to what it was in 2016, early 2016 that is. Other than that, it's been great, which brings me to all those repairs. It brings me to Yuneec customer service. Now, you always hear people talk about Yuneec customer service as being so great, and since I live in North America, I have to say Yuneec customer service in North America is phenomenal. It's bang on. These guys went above and beyond to make sure I was happy, and I'm just an average guy. When my drone first died with the battery after having it for 2 days, I thought, well, that's it. I called them and they were like, quick, send it back and we'll send you another one. And then when my camera died, they actually sent me a new camera while I still had the old one, and I could ship the old camera to them as I received the new one, which not too many organizations do. I don't know if they still do that today, which is really good. And anytime there was issues, they took note of any problems, and firmware updates came out and they refined the drone. And it is what it is today. So it's a really good drone. So if you're buying one today in 2017, you're getting a remarkable drone for the money, that's for sure. And if you've had one this long, like me, for over a year, since back in May 2016, well then you're probably loving it, if you still have it, obviously. And hopefully Yuneec come out with something new. Keep that technology going and come out with something new and unique that is not like all the other products on the market, and you'll have some loyal customers. All right, guys. So that's my 1 year review. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Watch for more videos on the way. Take care.